I didn't like, I was kind
Not
of
compulsive or anything.
No, I was an organized.
Okay,
Bishop,
good.
man, just
Good. Okay, that's fair.
one-off kind of guy.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like when they play the trumpet in the morning.
You never got greedy though. You never went back.
Never got greedy. Yeah, I was like, that's it. Yeah, but so I think learning to do that personally has been it's been a journey for me. But yeah, I think with companies, it's like, how do we get away from that? And is it just sometimes I think America was just this Christian experiment.
Yes.
That got compromised and has turned out poorly.
You think? It's like, I think you're onto something.
And I say that because a part of me doesn't really want to admit it.
Well, it's obviously true. It's obviously true. I mean, you can't have a democracy unless it's a voluntary system. People have to show a lot of restraint. They have to be all in. There has to be some sense of the common good. You can't just be like, how much can I grab? It's like Halloween. It doesn't work if all the kids just empty the basket on the front steps. In the first wave of trick-or-treaters. No, it's true, though.
No, you're right.
And a democracy is very much the same way, because you can take power and then just, like, steal everybody's money legally. And so you really have to have some boundaries that you impose on yourself. And that has to come from within. You have to have the sense that someone more powerful, like, to use the word, but God, is watching. And if you don't have that, then it just descends into greed and selfishness, which is where we are now.
Do you think America is still a Christian nation?
No.
What is it?
It's an LLC, as you said. So, brilliantly, actually. Again,
We've been privatized communism, it feels like to me.
I think that's exactly right. I mean, no one's for the free market. Everyone's for using power to hobble their competitors. Everyone's into, the only reason we have regulations is to create monopolies. The system is completely rigged, and you know that. You're asking, how do you get reliable information about the news? The news media want to talk about race. That's like their main thing that they want to talk about. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. But that's actually not an interesting conversation, because you can't change your race, and like people are different races, and they're sort of different, but they're also very much the same. It's like not that interesting a topic to me personally. I'm not interested in talking about race. What's really interesting is that the United States of America is being looted by a small number of people who are getting away with it, and they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
They never want to talk about economics. They never want to talk about the tax code. They never want to talk about any of that stuff, ever, and that's how you know that CNBC and CNN and the New York Times, all those people are like looking out for you, are actually just Praetorian guards standing in front of the people with the most power and money and keeping the masses from asking uncomfortable questions. And so whenever anyone asks about, like, well, wait a second, why do we tax people at half the rate for investing that we do for working? Literally, they pay half the tax rate. So you have a job and you work every day and you pay one rate, but if you just stay home and invest money and live off the interest, you pay half as much. So are we saying it's twice as virtuous to invest as it is to work?
Oh,
is that what we're saying?
So if you're a day trader or just trading stocks or something, you don't have to.
Or if you're a private equity guy and you can claim that your income is actually investment, is interest on your investments, you pay half the taxes. So we have a tax code that discourages work and encourages parasitic behavior. Now, there are arguments on both sides, and I'm not an economist, but you don't even hear those arguments, because it's like, shut up, racism!
Yeah.
Trannies, or whatever. It's all a distraction from what the real story is, which is they're looting the country. And at this point, we can't repay the debt that we owe. So it's going to be like, well, unfortunately, we had to sell Yellowstone. And no, I mean, it's going to get to the point where we're auctioning.
We sold it to Asians.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Where
And then they're going to say the sale was racist too. That's going to be the craziest part.
No, you're asking questions about it as racist.
Okay.
Yeah. You're always the racist. Just to be clear, you're always the racist. Hey. Louisiana man. It wasn't David Duke from Louisiana. Shut up, Klansman.
Yeah, I used to lift weights with David Duke.
Oh, God. In prison?
No.
I can see you guys in the yard. All the Aryan Nation guys. He's like on your back as you're doing push-ups.
Bro, I was never in any Aryan Nation, dude,
Not even in prison?
No, I never even went to any of their meetings or anything. I saw pamphlets or whatever, but I never pulled up over there. But yeah, we shared a back fence, and he used to date this hot girl that worked at a seafood restaurant that I worked at. And so he'd pop in there and I'd watch him eat shrimp or whatever. But
what was the seafood restaurant?
It was called Morton's Seafood in Madisonville, right on the river. Really? I worked over there, baby. And I was a bus boy, and they used to have raccoons coming out the wall when they'd cook duck. the boarding was bad on the wall, and it rotted out, and they let one of us busboys get there with a broomstick. We had to stand there and beat the raccoons back in
They're
the wall.
ferocious animals.
Well, they loved up.
Of course they do, and pizza.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
We call them trash pandas where I live, and you see them outside in the trash cans.
Oh, yeah.
And they love pizza. I like pizza,
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately. And oh yeah, you have pizza and you know,
Oh,
leave the
boy.
yeah, they go crazy.
I'd love to see. Now, that would be a good Dave Portnoy thing where he does one bite to hit a coon with a bite, you know?
Look, have you ever seen a raccoon eat? You never gave them any duck, did you?
Oh, I pulled up on them, and they're always like this. We
Yeah,
didn't,
right with their hands.
we didn't do.
Totally.
The gayest one is the one in the recycling bin. He's always like, you know? At least the other ones are in the trash. There's always that one that kind of wanders up from the recycling bin, and he's wearing like a negligee your mom's or something. You're like, what the fuck is that one been doing, you know? But yeah, they always are like plead innocent or whatever.
No, they do.
Yeah.
They're so clever. I love them.
Oh, they're crafty. Yeah.
I've never shot one. I've seen them so many times in the woods. There they are. Yeah, they love dog food.
Yeah.
That's kind of a mangy one. We have big ones where I live.
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of rabies, so when one would come down the street, we'd all have to go inside.
Do a lot of people have rabies where you grew up?
Yeah, I would say there was a big scare of it. When was rabies popular? Can you look that up, please?
When was rabies popular?
Oh, when I was a kid, it was a big thing. Get out the street, you know. There's a sick raccoon,
But when they got cars and electricity and stuff, they fixed all that.
I mean, it wasn't as big of a thing. But yeah, David Duke, man, we'd go to the gym sometimes. And I'll say this, nice guy.
Love you.
Nice guy, you know, he never,
Respect.
you know.
You're a nice guy as well. I love you, bro.
There was never any racial things or whatever, you know. But he was a very fit man.
I've never met him, but I will say this, and I'm not saying he's a Fed, though he's obviously a Fed, but every time I would get a new show, I don't know anything about David Dude. I'm from La Jolla, California. He wasn't quite as popular there.
Yeah. Can I find another picture without you?
but every time I get a new show, there'd be some news story. David Duke endorses Tucker Carlson. Why? I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I'm from La Jolla.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't share a common culture.
Yeah. I'm from Mitt Romney country,
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Literally, Mitt Romney goes to La Jolla.
Yeah, Comedy Store.
Tucker.